That is, all right. How's it going, guys? Welcome to the IPL 6 EU qualifier number 3. This is going to be who we have going on here? X6tence versus RoughNex.
No, yeah, RoughNex versus X6tence.
X6tence. So wait a minute. So this is a
semifinal.
This is really
This
is
a qualifying round.
Qualifying round right here.
Yeah, one of these two teams will be going to the $100,000 live event, and
I couldn't even see the names here because it's so blacked out.
It's kind of hard to see unless you pull it up.
Yeah, it's like, come on, guys, put white. Like, white's a great color.
I'm not sure what the CM means. RoughNex CM. Maybe they have two teams.
Well, RoughNex usually, I'm familiar with RoughNex because they have a Call of Duty team, and they usually have like a name for the team. So it's like RoughNex and then a name. So for like the Call of Duty team, it was like RoughNex Trippin' is the name of the team.
I see.
So CM probably stands for something,
Whatever
if I had to guess.
Whatever they used to be before they were picked up.
Yeah, more than likely. So that's pretty much how it is. But all right, so we're going to be on board with X6tence's very own Eraser. Finding someone inside of that cubby. Good shot there by Eraser, erasing him.
I feel like we've done this before.
Shut up, Josh. It's funny.
Eraser, Slip, and
People laugh.
We have cast them recently. Alliance, Dracius, and Daladave. I do not really recall.
Wow, great shot.
Eraser just murdered everybody, and that's just the first round of this best-of-5 qualifying series.
So there was a great debate on the chat that I want to bring up here. Shout out to everyone in the chat that's watching and actively engaging and everything. So the whole topic was whether the EU teams can compete with the NA teams, or NA teams can compete with the EU teams.
I was going to say, wouldn't the debate normally be?
Yeah, it's the other side. My bad.
So
that was basically what it is. I was saying that I feel like at this point in time, NA teams can very well compete with the EU scene. I think teams like Curse, for example, are very much capable.
Nice
Great shot by Daladave, by the way, as he's going to have one defender left, and that's going to be Slip in a 1v1. Slip by the point. Daladave knows he's only going to have a couple seconds left. He has to make a move. Maybe he has around 2 more shots left, and then he has to make something happen. He's only going to have 1 armor left, and a great shot there, bringing him down to 1 armor, and then the final. Good stuff. So
Slip is ruthless.
So basically just talking about that whole topic. What are your thoughts, Josh, since you're oh so wise?
Curse can totally kill any European team. So the issue really is not if NA can hang with EU, because the really good NA players definitely can. It's just more an issue of the amount of players and the talent pool, because X6tence and RoughNex and 2 Dignitas squads and Millennium, and they just have so many teams that are able to compete at that high level. NA has less teams that can compete at that high level, but they're still there. SK and Curse. SK beat Colwyn at IPL 5. Don't forget, like, it actually happened. There's documented history, video. It happened. So
in the summer,
that was SK.
No, it was actually the winter.
SK was the invited team too. They didn't even have to win a qualifier, and they came and still beat Colwyn. In those group stages. So
in the winter of
definitely
November
they can.
2012.
They just don't mix well online because of ping and all that. But I think they're just as innovative, just as hardworking as the European teams. I think the pool in Europe is just much larger, so you're able to come up with more squads that are just complete squads. NA is having a tough time with that. 29 teams signed up for the NA qualifier this week. 79 teams signed up for the EU qualifier this week. So
50
150
teams,
people that are trying to compete at this game, meaning you're going to end up with probably 3 times, maybe even 4 times the amount of players that can reach that higher level.
No, I don't disagree with that. I thought it was just a great conversation that people were having out in the chat, and it's really showing the development of Shootmania.
You see this guy out here? Slip is up in the back.
The guy who just jumped on the pillar?
He was actually way on the pillar back there.
Well, I don't see how Alliance is going to have anything here.
Nope.
As he gets taken out right away.
Is just
slippery slipsicle.
Crushing on defense right now. Nake's up on the attack now for X6tence. They're already up 3-1 thanks to that great first round from Eraser. Nake's has a chance to make it 4-1 and possibly put RoughNex out of reach of taking this first game. 2 attack rounds can be really hard to overcome when you're playing a team of equal skill level.
Yep, as now it's going to be Nex attacking here. I love Collided, one of my favorite maps. Some great crosses that you can have here, as you just saw. Drakius actually taking 2 armor. That's going to be a big win for Bikey here, because they need to stop the momentum. I mean, I'm sorry, RoughNex.
Yeah.
I was just thinking about Bikey.
No problem.
The name just throws me off.
I just don't want you to get stuck on it.
All right, stop me right away, Josh.
I did.
And you did.
Did.
That's why I love you.
Look out, Dalladave. Oh, never mind. Look out, Nex.
Look out, Nex, not Dalladave.
I thought Dalladave was going to get Mario stomped.
No,
not.
He was like, I think he was very aware of the situation there.
There was a dive bombing Nex.
Dive bomb laser.
Yeah.
It's like, pew.
I gotcha.
We can just make those sound effects.
Can you imagine like a plane flying overhead of Collided and someone shooting a laser out of like a chopper or something?
That would be sick. Nadio, make it happen.
That's like a score streak reward you get.
Oh my God! I bet the Quake players that are in the chat
lasering
are
everyone.
livid right now. How dare he mention a chopper? How dare he in a PC shooter? Get to the chopper. Every time I think of get to the chopper, I think of little baby, the little baby meme.
Yeah.
He's like this, and then the other one with the commando hat.
Yeah.
I just always think it's very adorable.
You just think of babies.
I think of babies, but wow!
He saved his armor.
Wow, yeah, that was good. That was really good.
Totally destroying those rockets. Great shot on the defender as well. But the fact is, time is so low, and Nex and Eraser easily shake him up and take him out.
That was actually very good deflection there by Drakius, but unfortunately, just the defense had it like nailed down. Like they knew that they were pretty much in the advantage there. Collided's such a hard map to defend, in my opinion, or not to defend, to attack if you have 3 defenders up. Any map is tough with 3 defenders, but so I guess that statement's kind of null. But the truth is that Collided, with the positions that defenders can take when they drop back to the goal, makes it a little bit difficult. The different routes that the attacker is like forced into taking, which pretty much just results in this, overhead bridge there. Great shot by Eraser, by the way. Alliance and Drakius is going to be the last ones up. Dalladave going to have to take a seat. Drakius actually hanging out inside of that mid cubby, as Eraser knows that he has to be careful with him, and he misses the shot and gets taken out. Great defense by RoughNex to end that one. Now it's going to be 4-3. Still, we have X6tence in the lead here, so they're looking pretty good, regardless.
We're gonna take a look at just a defender.
I saw you guys were doing this before.
Yeah, I just like to basically see how long they last. Sometimes you can see, they don't actually have vision of the attacker, but thanks to their teammates doing the spotting, you can see, they kind of rotate. You can see when they rotate. You can see if there's a fence involved, how that kind of plays out from the defender's perspective. It's entirely different, because Collided has one fence, but it's that massive one that you can't actually maneuver around. You can basically just be behind it.
I wonder how different this map would be if that giant fence in the middle wasn't there.
It's I don't know. It's kind of weird, because it's not a great defensive spot, even though fences normally are, because it is all the way down that any attacker could just jump over it. But Dalladave, one more laser would tie it up in attacking rounds. Is he going to get it? Yes, he does. He zones right in on him, and it takes him out. Good stuff there from Dalladave, tying up everything on attacking rounds. That's the important part, of course. You're playing first to 9 points, but you must win by 2, and the attacking rounds are what allow you to do that. So Dalladave tying it up now. Eraser was playing really, really well, but could not get that second attack round. So, now things are tied.
Yep, things are tied now, 4-4. Slip took a shot there, so he's down to 2 armor, and he's just waiting to see if one of these defenders are going to make a mistake in the middle. But they're just hearing that laser. They want to make sure the laser's out before they peek around that corner, which is a very sound strategy. Alliance going to be hanging out over by the back pillar near the point, but he is not able to get the shot. One defender hanging out in the bottom there, as you saw in the corner of the screen. Slip saw that as well, so expect a rotation to happen here, as Slip's going to make his way over to the goal, and it seems like he was going to get it, but got taken out from behind by Drakius. Good rotation there by him to end that round. Now it's going to be Alliance's turn to attack for RoughNex. this could be a big win for him, you know?
Yep, and we'll see if Eraser, who's going to be playing this fence, you know, this fence is basically just a corner you can see through. The fences in the other maps are basically huge defensive outposts that you can hang out at. Oh, missed shot there by the attacker. Alliance is definitely going to be reeling from that. Slip and Eraser both managed to peg him. Eraser basically looking for his opportunity to get back out. Now he's going to rotate backwards. Instead of going up to the attacker, he's going to fall back and figure out the next position that he'll need to be in. So he's going to hide in this little corner, perhaps all the way until time runs down for the goal to be open so that he can kind of pop out and surprise the attacker. There he is, actually almost landed 2 different rockets there. And Alliance...
This is intense.
Now we're down
You picked a good one to spectate.
Attacker armor count is at 1, so the next shot will win. We'll see if... Eraser gets taken out. Alliance started very poorly, actually, down to just 1 armor super quickly, but managed to disassemble the defense. And now RoughNex are up 6-4, 2 attack rounds to 1.
Yep, that was actually a very good round there for RoughNex, but... Yeah. All right. Well, we'll see what happens here as we currently have Nakes on the attack. And he sees all... Yeah, that's the thing about Collided. You're going to see all 3 defenders, but just like that, you're not going to be able to hit all 3 defenders, which is a very frustrating thing on this map. Oh,
jumps into the softball.
Great rocket there by Daladave to hit Nakes, of course. But an even better drop-down laser on Drakius there to end that one. You know, I really do like the way that the defense is just, you know, seeing how the defense plays. You kind of get this appreciation of, like, you know, they're shooting the areas that they know that defenders are going to be running through, which I think is like really cool because it just shows the level of awareness that they have with this game and how much they played it. That they can say, all right, I'm going to send these rockets, and I know that it's going to disrupt the attacker just a little bit. Maybe not connect with him, but if it does, that's a win. That's a good rocket there. I just like the way that the defense always has to think with that kind of mindset. So it's a pretty cool aspect of Shootmania that a lot of people don't talk about. But now Drakius attacking for RoughNex here, 7-4. So they're 2 rounds away from taking game number 1 in this best-of-5 series to determine who will move on to the finals and qualify. So this is going to be a very intense matchup here.
Yep, very important games for both sides. They've fought all this way now to only 4 teams remaining. Only 2 will get to go to the live event and play for the big cash. So this is probably the most important match of any of the qualifiers for them.
Yeah, it is. And these are 2 teams that, you know, I guess if you would have said in the grand scheme of things, people would probably predict Colwyn, of course. You know, Pyrogen and 4 Kings was a pleasant surprise. But, of course, you have, you know, the 2 Dignitas teams, and only one of them is in a position to actually move on to the next round.
UK was eliminated by RoughNex, I believe, so...
So, I mean, and that's not to knock on RoughNex nor X6tence, but I wouldn't have put these 2 teams in the semifinals. Well, maybe X6tence, they have been here before. So now it's just a question of whether or not they can get over that hurdle.
Yeah, so I really feel like Dignitas UK has been improving so much, and they're like the little what is it?
That could.
The thing that... The something that could. The
little engine that could.
The little engine that could.
Yeah, which I think is very, you know, very true on this very day because of Steam. So.
Yeah, Steam engine that could.
The Steam engine that could.
Is Dignitas UK, but they couldn't today. Unfortunately, they got close, but no cigar. Eraser just hopping down and getting destroyed there by all 3 of the defenders. And Daladave, who had that great round earlier, to put RoughNex into this position, is now in a position to just take the first game if he can do the same thing.
Yep, Daladave could very well end it here. Flurry of rockets flying right through the big archway, so Daladave knows he just has to take his time, and of course expecting that 1 defender hanging out over by the big cage. Daladave has to find an opening somewhere, has to find a defender to make a mistake. He has to hopefully like get that to happen, and of course connect with that laser to make this into a beneficial situation for him. Dave, though, lost an armor there on that flurry of rockets, so that's not going to be good for him, especially with 10 seconds on the clock and no defenders eliminated. Dave is not in a great position to end this game here, as he's going to creep around the corner here, finding one, and now it's going to be a 1v2, 2 armor remaining, 1v1, 2 armor remaining. Dave might be able to do this. 3 shots, 3 kills, easy as that. Dave wins the game. RoughNex looking really good right now.
Yeah.
I'm quite impressed.
That was pretty great stuff. Dave with 2 very impressive rounds, and the round that Alliance got, we were watching the defender the whole time, but he came back from being down to just 1 armor and took out all 3 defenders, so definitely a great round from him as well. That was just game 1 in this best of 5 series, so we're actually going to take a short break, figure out what map game 2 will be on, and we'll be back for that.